Coming to your comfy position. Just being sure that that neck is tucked in. The chin is tucked in, just the back of the neck is long. And just settling here. It's feeling where the body is connecting with the earth. As we tune into our breaths. Just finding that calm and stillness within. But not forcing it. Just tuning in to the rhythm of our breath. Just observing each cycle. That inhale as the chest and tummy rise. And the exhale as they both lower back down. And with time, as that breath lengthens, and the body settling into the position here. And focusing only on the breath. Allowing any thoughts in the mind to drift away. That body becoming calm and still. And the same with the mind. And then, in your time, just bringing the palms down by the sides if they're not already. Into your breath. That slow inhale as we reach the arms up and over into the floor behind. The pause between each of the breaths. Exhale as they slowly come back down. Breath by breath as we move. The movement fills the breath. And the breath fills the movement. Next time you go over, lifting the hands up and over as normal, but pointing the toes away. As we exhale, palms down by the sides, toes pointing up. Just doing one more. When you're back down, staying here, just enjoying that stillness just for a breath. As we move it into the neck, rolling that head from side to side, just loosening these neck muscles off. When you're back in center, leaving the head here, checking again that that chin is still tucked in. As we inhale, bending the knees up, with those soles of the feet flat on the mat. Before we move, just observing, just feeling that lower back gently being pressed onto the mat. And then we'll move into pelvic tilting, but a bit of a different way than normal. So in your time, as we inhale, we're going to lift the heels up as that presses the toes on the mat and the lower back. Exhale, release as those heels come back down. As we work breath by breath. Now, when you next lower down, staying here as we get ready for bridge. So bringing these heels, if they're not already, quite close into the hips. Checking that your neck is tucked in. With those palms flat on the mat by the sides. That inhale as we power up through the legs. Those hips up to the sky. Not holding. As we exhale, peeling down. Once more. Now, when your neck's down, just readjusting. We're going to repeat, but we're going to lift the heels as we do. So in preparation, do those feet come that little bit closer in? Again with those palms by the sides. And that inhale, as we lift the hips up to the sky, and the heels too. And that exhale, peeling down. The heels come back down too. Twice more. Now, when you've had those three, it's taking a brief rest. And we'll inhale up again, but holding for 3 breaths. Now it's your choice, whether you lift the heels or keep them flat on the mat. Holding for 3 breaths, or less if you prefer. And when you've had those 3, gently exhale, peeling that spine down. As we massage it down. Counter stretching as we take a hold of each knee individually, drawing them out and up to the sides of the chest. You can rock if you like, or just stay here. It's feeling these muscles release and lengthen. Lovely. And as we come back to center, bringing those knees together as well. It's giving them that gentle squeeze in as that presses that lower back onto the mat. As we move into a twist, inhaling the palms out to shoulder height, leaving the knees where they are. As we exhale, allowing the knees to fall to any side. Now if they don't come onto the floor, you can loosen that bend. They don't need to be hugged quite so close in. Maybe looking over the opposite shoulder. And with the inhale, just observing the side of the chest. As we exhale, releasing into the twist. And the other side. Inhale to center. And we exhale across. Again, perhaps looking over this opposite shoulder. This should be a position of comfort. Observing the breath now on this side of the lung. As that body gently releases into the twist. As we inhale again, back to center. Checking the neck is tucked in. And inhale these legs up into the sky. Give those ankles a rotate and shake if they want them. And then, can we inhale? Now you can bring the arms up, they're not up in the air. Maybe you take a hold of the toes or anywhere else on the leg in between. The legs don't need to be straight. Now this is similar to the counter stretch from bridge, but obviously the legs are much straighter. And then let's take a hug around the back of the thighs, either to rock ourselves up to sit or coming any other way. Coming up to your comfortable seated position. Ooh. Back into the room as we settle ourselves here, that spine lengthened, rooting down through the hip bones, that chin tucked in. Just observing that breath. And let's just move all the way around the neck. Exhale as we look up, stretching the front. The inhale back to center. As we exhale, looking down. Every inhale back. And then ears to shoulders. And as we come back to center, we'll roll the neck around, but to the breath. Now it doesn't matter if it's an inhale or exhale. As you breathe, going 180 degrees. And as you go back and around, that's your next breath. Once more. And when we're back, other way. As we come back, everything lengthened to that gentle shrook, shake off. Give the wrist a little shake as well if we want. And then let's stretch the spine. How are we feeling tonight? I want to be asleep now. That's fine. So, from our lengthened position, we're going to inhale, lifting the palms up as they come together. Exhaling them down to heart center. Interlocking the fingers, pushing them down. Now, look at the palms as you move. That inhale, lifting them up, you'll have a curve in the spine. Exhale, we're going to push the palms forward. And you'll get a curve the other way. Breath by breath, inhale up. And exhale down. Let's just do one more. And as we exhale, pushing them forward, you can just release. Coming back. Lengthen position, maybe that Shruggle shake again. As we roll it through to all fours. Either rolling over the knees or any other way. And from our all four position, those palms under the shoulders, maybe it's the fists, knees under hips. A subtle lift in the chest. And then let's move it into cat. That inhale, curling from the base as we look up. As we exhale, curling to look down or through the legs. Maybe taking a bend in the elbows as you move. Taking that time, feeling through each vertebrae in the spine. As we compress the discs and make space between them. And when you next exhale, curling down as normal, just sinking those hips back towards the heels in your child position, adjusting as you need to, just allowing that chest and head to just sink down to the mat. And with each inhale, it's making that space between each of the vertebrae. Exhale as that body releases down a little more. Tuning in to that rhythm of your breath. And then, in your time, let's inhale, slowly back up to our all four position. Bringing those knees back in as we get ready to lift into dog. So with those toes tucked, that inhale, powering the hips up towards the sky. As we exhale, sinking that chest and head through. If you want to take a walk from foot to foot, you can. Stretching into the back of these legs. Now, from here, I'm going to have a slight variation. By all means, come down from your dog if you want at any point. Actually, let's all do it for a second because we're going to explain a few bits. So coming down. Now, take a peek. So we're going to come back into dog. Don't do this yet. I'll demonstrate. So that inhale and lift. We're going to come into three-legged dog. Now, this is the difference. Can we open the hips up? A bit like this. Now, it's easier than it looks. So, all fours. Now we have options. If you don't want to do it, you can just stick in dog, or you can just do a bit of cat. So, toes tucked, inhale and lift. Sinking that chest through. And then, if you want, inhale one leg up into the air. Now exhale, bending that knee. Can we open that top knee out and that'll open the hips? Lovely. Again, optional. We can come through to a lunge. Exhale, those hips come back level. Slowly sinking the foot through. There we go, we're all there. Now, the back knee is either on the floor or it's straight. Now from here, checking that that knee and ankle are in alignment. Most of the weight is on the hand, not the hands, the feet. We can give these wrists a rest. Now inhale, that subtle lift in the chest, as if we're breathing that spine in longer. And just with time, as we ease into these hips. But let's make it a twist as well. So planting the opposite palm of the front foot. As we inhale, opening up over that leg, that's it. Looking up if you're balanced, finding length between the palms. As we exhale, back to the mat. Drop the back knee if it's straight. You untuck those toes. And from here, we're going to make it a pigeon. If you know how to get into pigeon from here, go for it. I realise my explanations are interesting with this one. If you're watching, we can sink these hips back just a bit, just so we've got plenty of room. As we bring this front ankle roughly in line with the bent knee, and allowing this knee onto the floor. That's it. You can send that leg out quite wide if you want. And then you can just guide the back knee back, so we're allowing the hips to the floor. Excellent. Now if the hips need to be higher, then let that happen. It can either be fingertips or palms. As we inhale, just opening up in this chest, looking up tall, allowing the shoulders to drop. There's an awful lot going on here, so just breathing into it. Each exhale as those hips release and maybe lower a tad. And then, my favourite bit. Exhale. Just walking the palms forward. Just folding over this front thigh. Same as child, just allowing that chest and head to sink to the mat. Just releasing and relaxing here. And then slowly inhale, walking these palms back up. Very briefly in a pigeon. And then let's come out. So you can walk the back knee back just to make enough space to send the front one back now. It probably wants a little shake off. Are we all ready for the other side? I think we know where we're going first. So palms planted, tucking the toes. Inhale up, downward dog. That chest and head sink through. If you're coming into three-legged dog, inhale the other leg up into the air. Exhale as you bend that knee, opening that hip out to the side. And when you're ready, come any other way if you want, or exhale, sinking this leg through to your lunge. Whether that back knee is straight or bent is your choice. And just settling into the lunge. So we hold it here, just allowing the breath to settle. Easing into the hips on this side. And then let's make it a twist on this side too. So that opposite palm is planted of the front foot. As we inhale the other arm up to the sky. As if these arms are becoming longer. Exhale. Back down. Lowering that back knee as you untuck these toes. Pigeon on this side. So, sending those hips back to make the space. This front ankle either coming roughly in line with the knees or maybe out on a 90-degree angle. This front knee drops. Walking the back knee back. These hips lower to the floor. There we go. Palms or fingertips. Inhaling up tall. Settling in here again. Each exhale, just easing into the hips. And then walking it forward. Exhale. Folding over this front leg. That chest and head just settling towards the mat. Making that length in the spine. And that releasing in the hips. Observing the rhythm of your breath. And then inhale, walking it back up, briefly inner pigeon. As we come out, either walking the back knee back or another way might work for you better. Sending that front leg back, maybe that shake on this side. And then here, you might just want to rotate around these hips, as if you're making a figure of 8. If you're making that figure of 8 though, try and make it the other way, and that will probably confuse the brain. And then, as we come back, downward dog again. You get yourself ready. Toes tuck, that inhale and lift. Sinking that chest and head through. Have that brief walk if you want. And then in time, let's step it forward on an inhale to a forward fold. Whether you're letting the arms hang, holding the elbows, or maybe the ankles. And with a slight bend in the knees, just that release in the lower back. And that head nice and loose. And in time, let's inhale, slowly uncurling. Up to our standing position. Finding that spine nice and long. That chin tucked. Just settling here. That should do it. There we go. We settle here, those feet nice and planted. Shoulders dropping. And then with the breath, that inhale, lifting the palms up and looking up as they come together. Exhaling down, heart center, as slow as your breath. Once more. And just releasing the palms. Shake whatever you need to do as we move into a side stretch with one arm. Inhale and lift. Now lift it up. You should feel a bit of a stretch already. So we exhale over. Whether this arm hangs or it holds a leg. It's feeling a nice stretch all the way down this side. So we do the other side. Inhale. And exhale over. Now as you observe this stretch, that release on the exhale. And back up. Palms together as they come down to heart center. The shoulders dropping. And they can come down. How adventurous are we feeling? Okay, I can't hear you. That's fine. So we're going to come to tree first. But there's a variation on tree. I'll show you very quickly. Normal tree. But then the difference, this leg becomes back. So you can use a wall if you want and stay in normal tree. Or you can have some fun. But settling those feet up to start. Inhale and lift. Rooting down, those feet really planted. It's normal as we inhale, one heel up. And then bringing that knee up in front if you wish. If you want to give that ankle a rotator shake, you can. As we exhale, that knee out to the side, we have the other arm or a wall as balance. And if you're still here, tucking the foot in. Now, if you have a slight bend on that standing leg, that can just help the balance. And that inhale giving us a lift in the chest. If you're ready though, inhaling those palms up. As we exhale them down, heart center. And just settling in here. Each inhale as we find that lift. And the exhale just rooting down. Tuning into the breath. And then you can stay here or we can have a go. So to begin, just inhale that knee out to the center. This ankle can just flop. Exhale, just send that knee back. It's staying bent. Now it's going to keep going up. And what will happen is this spine wants to move. Have a bend in that standing leg. And if you're using the wall as well, by all means. Just lowering down. Now, when you feel you're at your position, that ankle above can either stay up or you can lengthen the leg. It's up to you. Should have a nice stretch in the back of the standing leg. Strengthening in the core, hips and upper back. And then slowly land. We plant that foot down. Subtle bend in the front leg, the back leg is back. Inhale, palms up. Now look up, make this a nice back bend. As we inhale it back to our stand. Lovely. We seem to all get that quite well. Ready for the other side, it seems. Setting the feet up though. Planting this foot down. As if it's glued to the floor. As we inhale that other heel up. Observing that lift in the chest. And then bringing the knee up in front. Again, rotating if you did before or shaking. As we exhale, that knee out to the side. This lift in the chest, that subtle bend in the standing leg. Tucking that foot in. When you're ready, taking your time. When you found it, inhale, big reach up. Palms together. And exhale, heart center. Allowing the shoulders to drop. And just tuning into your breath on this side. Inhale, lifting us up a bit taller. To make our roots on each exhale. That attention drawing inwards. Finding the calm and stillness on this side. And if we're ready, can we inhale that knee out in front to start? Subtle bend on that standing leg. Exhale, sending it back. As it keeps going back, the top half will just want to come down. Now, to wherever your position is, the option of the heel staying up, or you can lengthen that leg. If you want to take a deeper bend in the standing leg, by all means do. And let's slowly land. A reasonably wide-legged position, doesn't really matter. As we inhale, lifting the arms up, looking up. Next inhale as we step it back, palms down. Have that shake, ease off, wherever we need it to be. Lovely. And then there's more of this. Chair first though. That inhale, lifting up tall, rooting down. Just finding our still strengthened position. And then taking a big inhale, scooping up. Exhale down, sitting on that imaginary stool. Hips aren't out, they're tucked in. The shoulders are dropping. Now, let's change it up again. So, inhale, this is the nice bit. Coming up to stand, reaching up. We're exhaling back down though. Breath by breath. Inhale and lift. Exhale, sinking down. Maybe you go lower. Inhale and lift. If you want, you can come up onto the toes. Exhale down. Let's just do one more. As we inhale back up. Now, everything we've just done is about to make sense. You can take a wall handy again if you want. Again, I'll demonstrate very quickly. So we've done eagle before. The elbows are wrapping, but so are the legs. So, I don't know where we want to start with this one. Let's start with the arms. So, now inhale, arms out to shoulder height. As we exhale, one elbow on top of the other. Those hands maybe wrap around to interlock, or you maybe take a hug on the shoulders instead. Now, if you want to release one to hold a wall, you can. Now, the same leg is the top elbow. Can we inhale, roughly out in front, then exhale and wrap. Now, to begin with, you can put the toes on the floor. You're kind of getting the thighs in together. It might be the case your ankle's all the way out here, or it might somehow neatly wrap around. Now comes the chair part. So first inhaling tall. As we exhale, that bend in the standing leg. Sitting on that imaginary stool. Now, we're only on one leg, so this thigh is doing double the work. Each inhale finding length in the spine. Next inhale as we come up. Unwrapping. I did say tonight was balance. Next side. Arms first. Inhale, arms out to shoulder height. As we exhale, the other elbow is on top this time. Either hands come together. Hug in the shoulders. And then the leg. Inhale as the other one comes out. And then wrapping that around. Those toes can be on the floor. Ready for the chair. So that inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, lowering down. Each inhale, breathing in that little taller out of the chest. Maybe exhale and sink. Slow and controlled in the breath though. And I inhale up. Exhale, unwrapping. Nice one, that shake around. But now we move on to the nice stuff. So forward fold. So those feet planted, probably around about the middle of the mat. We're moving into dog. But as we start though, let's just inhale. Those palms together behind us. You can kind of, if you like, just tuck the shoulder blades back. You get a nice stretch on the front of the chest. So you inhale tall. And on the exhale, leading with those hands, subtle bend in the knees. Let's tip forward, but the hands are guiding us here. They're always reaching higher. As we sink down into our fold. Our head hanging nice and loose. And if you want, you can undo the palms as they either hang in front, maybe hold elbows or the ankles. That spine releasing here. And in time, let's step it through to dog on an inhale. Planting the palms, stepping the feet back. That chest and head sink through. And as we hold dog for a few breaths, maybe walking or maybe just still, those hips reach up to the sky, lengthening the spine. And in the next breath or two, coming down via all fours, as we sink those hips back into your comfortable child position. The chest and head sinking to the mat, tuning into your breath, feeling the breath settle, finding the calm and stillness within. Releasing any tension as required. As we inhale, slowly back up through to all fours. Ready to working cat. We're going to make this our circle cat. So that inhale up is normal. As we exhale, let's circle around as we come through. Inhale, circling back up. Not a right or a wrong way. If you'd rather just do normal cat, then do. If you're doing this, just feeling through all the vertebrae, all that movement happening within. But if we have been circling one way, let's circle the other as well. When we feel we've worked evenly, we come back to that flat back position, ready to lie down. Whether it's crossing the ankles as we roll over them, or any other way that you like. As we scoot to the front of the mat, that nice loose bend in the knees. As we inhale, that spine tall, arms out for balance. Slowly exhale, peeling the spine back, vertebrae by vertebrae. And when you're down, just have the knees bent up, just nice and loose though. Maybe the feet are wide at the edge of the mat, or anywhere in between. It's being sure that the chin is tucked in. And we can just start to rock these knees from side to side. The arms can either remain by the side or you can move them if you like. That momentum builds to the knees. And it maybe comes to the point where the knees come onto the floor. And if they do, just leaving them here. Maybe taking that look over the opposite shoulder. Just this nice, loose, open bend. Allowing the body to release into it here. And as we inhale, back to center, as the knees fall over to the other side. Holding them here for a few breaths. We inhale, back to center, taking a hug around the thighs. The shoulders are tucked. And with that hug on the thighs, maybe have a rock. And that should just get into the lower part of the spine. Do you take a hug around the knees this time? And maybe squeezes them in a little more, massaging a little higher up the spine. And then back to center and stillness. Inhale the arms and legs up into the air. As much a bend as you need. A quick rotate around, maybe shaking them off. As we inhale, the arms through the legs, taking a hold of the outer edges of the feet or ankles. With those knees drawing out and up. Again, you can have this rock and you'll be a bit further up the spine still as you massage around. And then, gently coming in to your relaxation position. Whether the feet are out straight or the knees are bent. Arms by the side or gently resting in the body. Settling here. As we tune in to the rhythm of the breath. Those nice, long, deep inhales. And those relaxing exhales. Observing the sounds and the subtle movements each one makes. And allowing the mind to clear and settle. And then just visualizing the breath like a wave. As you inhale, as that tide washes in, washing over you, filling you with energy and light. And the exhale, that tide washing away back to the ocean, carrying with it any tension or stress. As this tide washes in and out with each breath. That wave washes in over the feet, up to the knees, to the hips, tummy and chest, up through the arms to the shoulders, finally the head. As that all washes away, leaving the body calm and relaxed. This rhythm of the wave repeats. And as the tide goes away, and you look up, seeing the brilliant, bright blue sky, nice and clear, as clear as your mind. And that body warms by that brilliant ball of white light, energized and warm. But just allowing all that to fade away. As you draw yourself back to the present, supported by the earth, feeling the air touch your skin. And in time, you can begin to wiggle the toes and fingers. So you make small movements. And if you wish, inhaling those arms up overhead for a gentle stretch. You can leave them here for a breath or two if you like. And in time, as the exhale back down, perhaps hugging the knees in towards the chest. In time, you roll over to any side. In a brief moment of pause, gently opening the eyes as you come up to your comfortable seated position, finding that spine long and light, that chest lifted, rooting down through the sit bones. As we inhale, reaching the palms up together, exhaling them down through heart center. As we bow our heads, Namaste.